All right, so today's question of the day comes from Iceman, and Iceman asks, what do I enjoy the most about being in the military? So you're going to be able to relate with me to some degree when I say one of the biggest worries that I had when I was a civilian was making sure I was able to pay my expenses, pay my bills, school, tuition, loan, textbooks, car, insurance, gas, rent for some of you, food, and etc. Right? The list goes on and on. And that was my biggest worry, making sure I can pay that, right? And, for some of you, if you are younger, 17, 18, coming straight out of high school, you might not be able to relate in that sense yet. But, some of your worries might be, I don't exactly know for 100% definite sure, what career path, what, degree I want, right? You might be able to relate with me to that in that sense. So, before I joined the military, one thing was definitely for sure that I wanted to accomplish, which was making sure after my 5-year contract, I wanted to come out of the military as a much more refined version of myself. That's one thing that I definitely wanted to accomplish. And I didn't know exactly how I was going to accomplish it, or if I was going to be even able to. But now that I'm in the military, or a little bit over a year now, what I love, to answer the question, what I love about being in the military, what I enjoy the most is the fact that when you're in the military, you have no worry, right? You don't need, there shouldn't be any expenses, okay? Because you are given a place to sleep, right? You either live in the ship or live in the barracks, right? And the military pays for that. The military provides food. You're given a place to shower, hygiene. You don't need a vehicle, right? When you're a civilian, you need a vehicle for convenience from home to work, to school, to work, home and back and forth for multiple years. So you need a vehicle, and you don't really need a vehicle, but vehicle is very convenient for that sense. But when you're in the military, you don't need it, right? If you need to go anywhere in terms of being in the military, transportation is provided for you. If you want to go somewhere for personal reasons, now, you have to get an Uber or Lyft or, hitch a ride with a friend. But overall, what I'm trying to say is when you're in the military, your expenses should be next to nothing, okay? One of the biggest mistakes that I see young sailors make is they rack up on expenses. Bills after bills, and they live, basically paycheck to paycheck like they would when they are a civilian. Some people that I ask only have $25 into their name in their bank account, which is a scary place to be, okay? So that's on a side note. But what that has provided me to do, not having any worry, not having any expenses, what that has provided me to do was not have any worry, and I can focus full time on what matters the most, which is improving myself, okay? Personal development. To me, personal development is extremely important, okay? Every day, you should always strive to improve to some degree in one of your goals, whether it's health, whether it's finances, whether it's education, whether it's career, or trying to find your career path. Military life may not be for you, right? It's not for me, right? I'm just going to do my contract and get out. But while I am in the military, I'm going to utilize every opportunity, every free time where I don't have to worry about all the worries that I had when I was a civilian, to find exactly what I want to do after I finish my military career, right? So for those of you who are younger, 17 and 18, you don't really know exactly what you want to do, for the next couple of years. When you're in the military, figure it out, right? And for those of you who are a little bit older, right, 20 and up, when you're in the military and you're looking for that restart button, or you're just trying it out, make sure you continually improve yourself, right? So by the end of your military career, by the end of your 4, 5, or 6 year contract, when you get out, you are definitely 100% sure you are a much more refined version of yourself, and you have a definite goal that you want to accomplish. And when you were in the military, you figured it out. Take this time, take this free time, free opportunity for not having any expenses, not having any worry, to figure out exactly what you want to do with your life. So when you finish being in the military, you can go back to the marketplace and just tear it apart. All right? So I hope that answered your question and shared with you some of my opinion. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great Navy Day.